Tenant Screening Scorecard. Part 1. How landlords get more from their rentals with better tenant screening. What if I told you that most landlords don't lose money because they bought the wrong property? They lose money because they approved the wrong tenant. One bad tenant can create thousands of dollars in losses through unpaid rent, property damage, legal fees, vacancy costs, and turnover expenses. But here's the good news. Most tenant defaults leave warning signs before they happen. The purpose of this training is to help you identify those warning signs before they become expensive mistakes. This story comes from Madeline Felix, the author and founder of Tenant Access, from her first rental property investor experience at the age of 22 years old, before she knew anything about tenant screening. Early in her real estate career, she purchased a foreclosure property. She spent tens of thousands of dollars renovating it. New plumbing, new flooring, updated systems, new appliances. She wanted everything perfect. Then an applicant came along, a single parent, move-in funds ready, a compelling story. At the time, she thought, great, problem solved. She approved the application without verifying savings, bank statements, financial habits, employment stability, rental history. 4 months later, the tenant defaulted. The property was heavily damaged. Thousands of dollars were lost. And she learned a lesson that permanently changed how she screens tenants. Pain is an incredible teacher. That experience taught her that tenant screening is not about hoping things work out. It's about understanding risk before you hand over the keys. Most landlords think tenant defaults are only about money. They aren't. A bad tenant can consume your weekends, your sleep, your confidence, your relationships, your peace of mind. The stress compounds because your obligations don't stop. The mortgage is still due. Repairs continue, and legal processes often move slower than financial losses. Many landlords describe the experience as feeling like they're losing money every day while having very little control over the outcome. That emotional toll is rarely discussed, but it is one of the biggest reasons professional tenant screening matters. One bad tenant can quickly create unpaid rent, court costs, vacancy loss, property damage, cleaning expenses, legal fees, turnover costs. A single tenant default can easily become a $5,000 to $20,000 problem. And if you own multiple rental properties, one mistake can impact the stability of your entire portfolio. Most landlords underestimate the true cost of a default. It's not just the rent that wasn't paid. It's also the opportunity cost. Imagine losing $10,000 because of a tenant default. If that same $10,000 had remained invested and earned 8% annually for 5 years, it could have grown to nearly $15,000. The true loss isn't just what disappeared. It's also what that money could have become. This is why successful landlords focus on preventing losses before they occur. Good tenant screening compounds over time. One properly screened tenant can quietly produce stable income for years. Insurance companies don't survive because they insure everyone. They survive because they manage risk. Landlords should think the same way. Tenant screening is not about judging people. It is not about being overly strict. And it is not about making emotional decisions. It is about protecting cash flow, stability, predictability, peace of mind. The best landlords understand that discipline protects portfolios. Emotion creates risk. Data creates confidence. In Part 2, we'll cover the most common warning signs that often appear before tenant defaults occur. You'll learn how to recognize patterns hidden inside credit reports, bank statements, rental history, financial behavior. Because tenant defaults rarely happen without warning. Patterns matter. And once you learn how to recognize them, tenant screening becomes far less emotional and far more predictable. See you in Part 2.